Hello students, welcome once again to this channel Physics Derivations. As a part of it, today we are going to see the fourth derivation of the first chapter. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends and click the bell icon for more and more derivations to come. Okay, come on, let us move on to the fourth derivation. Electric field due to a dipole at a point on its axial line. How do they ask the question? Derive an expression for electric field intensity at a point on the axial line of an electric dipole of length 2a. Now let us see the diagram. Have a close look at the diagram. AB. AB is the dipole. Here the length of the dipole is 2a, but from A to O it is A and O to B it is A. Now this is the axial line of this dipole. On the axial line of its dipole we have taken a point C. This is the point C. Okay. Now, at this point only we are going to calculate the electric field intensity. Now, at this point, a test charge, a unit positive charge is placed. So, the distance in between the center of the dipole O and the point C is R. Okay. Now, what is the distance in between A and the point C? Here what we are supposed to do is from O to C it is R, and again from A to O it is A. So here the distance is this R plus A. Again, what's the distance in between B and C? From O to C we know that it is R. Then the distance between B to C is R minus this distance A. That's what it is written, R minus A. Okay. Now what about the force exerts by this charge minus Q on C? This is minus charge. This is a positive charge. So what will happen? There might be an attraction. So this minus Q attracts this plus Q. That's why it is written, the electric field, it is written as E minus vector, but the arrowhead is pointing towards this direction because it's an attractive force. Then what about the force exerts by plus Q on this plus Q? This is also a positive charge, again it's also a positive charge. So automatically it repels. That's why the arrowhead is pointing towards this direction. This is electric field plus vector. Hope you would have understood very well about this diagram. Now let us move on to the derivation. A little bit of description about the diagram. C is a point located on the axial line. Then AB is the dipole. Then R, the distance in between the center O and the point C. Now we are going to calculate the electric field at a point C due to plus Q. The electric field at a point C due to plus Q is, we know the expression for electric field, the general expression. What is it? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. The same thing is written over here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, in the place of R the distance. Here what's the distance in between plus Q and C? It is R minus A, we have already seen. So in the place of R we have written R minus A whole square. This P cap is the unit vector. Now this electric field is acting along the direction BC. Here see the diagram. The electric field E plus is acting along the direction from B to C. So it is written. Then next one is the electric field at a point C due to minus Q is E minus vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, in the place of R we have to write R plus A whole square. P cap acts along CA. If you have a look at the diagram, you can easily understand. Now the total electric field due to the dipole, E total is equal to E plus plus E minus. So the expressions what we have found earlier, we need to substitute in it. While substituting, in the case of E minus, we are putting the sign minus. What's the reason? Because both E plus and E minus are acting in the opposite direction. That's why if you have taken E plus as plus, we need to take E minus as minus. So we have written. In the next step, we have taken the Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. We have taken the Q by 4 pi epsilon naught as common. So within the bracket we get 1 by R minus A whole square minus 1 by R plus A whole square P cap. In the next step, we have taken the LCM for R minus A squared and R plus A squared. So how to calculate the LCM now? Compare this expression with this expression. Here R minus A squared is there, but what is not there? R plus A squared. So we need to multiply this 1 by R plus A whole squared. Similarly, compare this expression with this one. Here R plus A squared is there. What is not there? R minus A squared is not there. So multiply this 1 by R minus A square. So we have got this whole equation. In the next step, we know the formula. R plus A whole square means what? The basic algebra formula. A plus B whole square. So we have written like this. And minus, again, R minus A square means A minus B whole squared formula. So that also we have written over here, but within the bracket. That is very important. Otherwise the equations may go wrong. This minus is there. That's why the expansion is written within the bracket. In the next step, everything is as usual, but here all the terms within the bracket is multiplied by minus. So minus R squared minus A squared plus 2RA. Here R squared get cancelled, A squared get cancelled. So what is left is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket 2RA plus 2RA 4RA. Here again this expression you see, how does it look like? A minus B into A plus B. A minus B into A plus B is equal to A square minus B square. But here square is also there. So no problem. You forget about this square and write as usual A minus B into A plus B, A square minus B square. As A square is present, you put the square over here. So this is the expression. Now in the next step, what we are going to do is, since R is very greater than A, in other words, in comparison with R, the A, the distance in between A to O or O to B is considerably very small. So we can drop the term from the equation. So in the next step, E total is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. And also what we are doing here is we are splitting that 4RA as 2 into 2RA and divided by R to the power of 4. Why we have got like this? Because that A squared we have dropped it. as it is very small in comparison with R. So have you got it this? Yes. Again in the next step, we are rearranging the terms. That is, Q is there, Q, then in this 2RA, we have taken only 2A. Q into 2A, then what is left here? One R is left, here 2 is there. So 2R. In this manner, we are rearranging. And below that, 4 pi epsilon naught R to the power of 4. R and this R power 4 get cancelled and we get R power 3, R cube. In the next step, in the place of Q, 2A and P cap, this Q, 2A and P cap all together, it is equal to P vector. So in the place of them, I have written P vector. Now whatever is left, only 1, 2 is left. So into 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. So in the next step, E total is equal to 2 P vector divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. This is the final expression for the electric field at a point on an axial line due to a dipole. Now what about the direction? Here, now if we take a close look at the diagram, we can find it. What is the direction of the electric field? The total direction of the electric field is towards this way, E plus. The reason is, though both minus Q and plus Q exerts force on C, the force, in other words, the electric field due to B, that is plus Q, is more because it lies closer to C. So on the whole, we have to take this direction only for electric field. Now what about the direction of the dipole moment? Dipole moment is always calculated from minus Q to plus Q. So what is the direction of the dipole moment? From minus Q to plus Q in this direction. So in the case of this axial line, both the direction of electric field and the direction of dipole moment lie on the same direction. That's why here it is given like this. Direction of E, electric field. The direction of E is in the direction of the dipole moment. Direction of E, the direction of E is in the direction of the dipole moment. Okay, come on, let us move on to the next derivation. The next derivation is electric field due to a dipole at a point on its equatorial plane. The question may be asked in this way. Derive an expression for electric field intensity at a point on the equatorial plane of an electric dipole of length 2A. Come on, let us have a look at this diagram. Now this is the dipole diagram. Here minus Q and plus Q is separated by the length 2A. So A, B, so O is its center. So A to O, the distance is A, and O to B, the distance is A. Now, this is the equatorial plane of this dipole. So, in this equatorial plane, we have taken the point C. So, at this point only, we are going to calculate the electric field. So, the C is located at a distance of R from O. Now, here, a test charge, a unit positive charge is placed. So this positive charge exerts a repulsive force on it. So the direction of the electric field is given like this. Similarly, here negative charge is there. This negative charge attracts this positive charge. So the direction is given towards A. E minus vector. So the resultant vector electric field is in between E plus and E minus, that is in this direction. Now another important thing is here the total electric field, its direction is from here to here in this direction. Now what is the direction of the dipole moment? Dipole moment is always calculated from minus to plus, minus q to plus q. So this is the direction of the dipole moment. So the electric field direction is opposite to the direction of the dipole moment. Now let us move on to the derivation. C is a point on the equatorial plane and AB is the dipole and R is the distance in between the center O and C. Now in triangle AOC and again in triangle BOC, we have to take both these triangles and calculate the expressions for AC squared and BC squared. Now look at this diagram. This is the right angle triangle AOC. So we have to apply the Pythagoras theorem for this, and also this is another right angle triangle BOC. Here also we need to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So what will happen? AC squared is equal to AO squared plus OC squared. Similarly here BC squared is equal to BO squared plus OC squared. Here what is AO? Small a. Then what about OC? Small r. Similarly here BO is small a and OC is r. We need to substitute these values. Okay. So in triangle AOC, AC squared is equal to AO squared plus OC squared, that is A squared plus R squared. Similarly in triangle BOC, BC squared is equal to BO squared plus OC squared, that is A squared plus R squared. Then electric field due to minus Q, that is E minus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by the distance. Instead of R we have written the distance itself AC squared. In the next one 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by AC squared is nothing but A squared plus R squared. P cap acts along the direction CA. This one you can see it from the diagram. And electric field due to plus Q. Here E plus vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by BC square. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A square plus R square. P cap acts along BC. So in the case of axial line, here the distance varies. In one case A squared plus R squared, in another case A squared minus R squared. But in the equatorial plane derivation, both are same. Now we are going to take the part of this diagram. We are going to take only this part of the diagram for resolution of vectors. Okay. Here comes the diagram. Now this is the point C and this is E plus vector and this one is C minus vector. Now resolve this E plus vector into two components. The vertical component is E plus sin theta and the horizontal component is E plus cos theta. Similarly for E minus vector also, vertical component E minus sin theta and horizontal component E plus sin theta. Here both these E plus sin theta and E minus sin theta, they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, so they get cancelled. So what is left out? Only E plus cos theta and E plus cos theta, they get summed up. The vertical components E plus sin theta and E minus sin theta get cancelled. The total electric field is in opposite to P cap. That's what we have seen already. The direction of the dipole moment and the direction of the electric field, they are opposite in direction. That's why here E total is equal to while summing up these two, we have written a minus sign over there. So minus e plus cos theta. Again here in the place of e minus, I have put e plus. Because e minus and e plus both, they are equal in magnitude. So in the next step, minus 2 e plus vector cos theta p cap. So here I can write minus 2. For e plus vector, we have got the equation. For cos theta, we need to find out. Cos theta, what is the formula? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. Now, again we will go back to the diagram. Now see the diagram. Here is the angle, theta. So cos theta, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Which is the adjacent side for this theta? AO. What is it? A. Then what about hypotenuse? AC. We have to write as it is. Now, cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is A by AC, which is equal to A by, already we have found the equation for AC square, that is A square plus R square. Therefore, for AC, square root of A square plus R square. Now, E total is equal to minus 2 into the expression for E plus vector 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A square plus R square into, for cos theta, A by square root of A square plus R square. Now, here A square plus R square is there. Here square root of A square plus R square is there. So when we multiply, what do we get is A square plus R square to the power of 3 by 2 will come. So here you see, okay. So what do we get is minus Q in bracket 2A p cap by 4 pi epsilon naught A square plus R square to the power of 3 by 2. Since R is very large than A, in other words, since R is very smaller than R, the term A can be dropped out. The term A square can be dropped out from this equation. So E total is equal to, the whole expression is equal to P vector. So minus P vector by 4 pi epsilon naught. What do we get? A squared is dropped. So R squared to the power of 3 by 2. Here this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So E total is equal to minus P vector by 4 pi epsilon naught R to the power of 3, in other words R cube. This is the final expression for electric field at a point on the equatorial plane of a dipole. Now we need to write the direction. The direction of electric field E vector is opposite to the direction of dipole moment. With this session has come to an end. So don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you may get more and more derivations from this lesson and also from the other lessons.
Like, share and comment and subscribe our channel for more videos.